All right, hello everyone. It's the Deephaven community team back with another demo, July week 4. Get it going. All right, first up, we have Jake. He's going to show us a quick demo with WebSocket. Here's Jake. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. Got a quick demo for you guys. Just going to be connecting to a WebSocket and ingesting the data and putting it into Deephaven. So it's kind of a three-part process. So the first one, just set up the WebSocket client in Python and create the connection. For this example, I'm going to be using the Coinbase feed. And when you connect to the Coinbase feed, you have to start off by sending, what information you want. So for this one, we're going to be looking at Bitcoin prices. So let's run that. And so second thing, we're going to set up our dynamic table writer and just have a couple functions as well to help do some conversions, type conversions of the data that we're pulling in. And then lastly, we're going to actually connect to the WebSocket. So we're just going to read in the data, it comes in JSON. So we're going to convert that. And we're going to build our row to write and then write the row. And as you can see, once this is all set up, let's reverse the table. And you can see that the data is coming in. So it's pretty straightforward, but just another venue for somebody to want to ingest data into Deephaven with.
Awesome. Next up, we have JJ. He's going to show us recreating the retro sheet. All right. MLBC. Wait, JJ?
All right. Hopefully all of this is a good enough font size for everyone here to read. And apologize in advance to any of you that were excited about seeing me all numbed up from the dentist. The Novocaine has mostly worn off, so that won't be very exciting. But regardless, so this is a bit of a non-traditional demo. Some of us at Deephaven have been working on some baseball stuff related to the MLB's Beat the Streak game. Basically, the objective of the game is to pick a batter on any given day of the MLB season. And if you pick 57 batters in a row that get a hit, you win $5.6 million. And so essentially, it's extremely difficult to pick 57 in a row. And that's based off of Joe DiMaggio's streak, I believe, in 1946 of 56 straight games with a hit. And so we've been working with a few other people outside of Deephaven who have done some work on this Beat the Streak stuff themselves, one of which is Ryan McKenna, who during, I think, his time as a PhD student in like applied math or something at UMass Amherst, wrote up some code in Python that will predict the probability of any batter on any given day to get a hit. And so Ryan's model, I was able to get it working for the seasons between 2010 and 2021. However, Ryan's model is dependent on something called retrosheet data. Retrosheet is a big name in baseball analytics. At the end of every season, they publish just a huge amount of data, including play-by-play information and all sorts of stuff. However, that data doesn't become available till the end of the season. So if we want to predict current games with Ryan's model, that's not very useful. So over the last week or two, I've spent some time recreating retrosheet, and I'm not going to show a demo of that because the code actually running, it takes a little bit of time to run, a little bit too much time, but I just want to show the fruits of my labor. So here in this terminal window, I'm in my Deephaven core installation, and I just want to show what a traditional retrosheet file looks like and then what my recreated retrosheet file looks like. So here I'm in the retrosheet directory. If I look here, I've got 3 different directories. I'm going to go into 2021 because that has official retrosheet information. And all of these files in here, these .ev files, are event files, and they tell you anything you want about any team for all of their home games for a host. For an entire season. So if I take a look at, say, the Anaheim Angels, we can see a whole bunch of information here. This is here's a game ID, here's a version, here's team information, here's the starting lineup of each team, and then it's got play-by-play information. And now, thankfully, Ryan's models don't use play-by-play information because their goal is to predict who's going to get a hit and who's not. And so if you use the play-by-play information for a game to predict who's going to get a hit in that same game, that's kind of cheating. So anyway, I was able to ignore the play-by-play information, and I actually called my file's current sheet because it feels fitting that it's the current season, so current sheet versus retro sheet. But if we come over here and we look at these, I've got an entire directory of identically named files, as you can see here. And if I look at the same one for the Anaheim Angels, instead of for 2022, we can see all of the same information and all the starting lineups. And you can see here that I don't include any play-by-play information. As soon as it lists the starting lineups, it just skips on to the next game. The big difference between these two is that RetroSheet has its own ID system for every player in the league. As it turns out, there's actually like numerous ID or identification methods. Some use integer values, others use like codes, and it's kind of a big giant mess. So I've actually got some code that I've written that I will, maybe demo next week or maybe write about soon. That basically creates a giant master list of actual current active players and all the different IDs that I've been able to find and put together, because even places where I've found reportedly complete lists of all this information are very, very far from actually being complete. And I'd like to save other people from the frustration that I had to go through with some of that. So that's pretty much all I have. So thanks.
Very, very cool. Maybe I can use that to win my fantasy baseball league. All right, everybody, we'll see you next week.